Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. Let's show you see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today. Where yesterday I played a bit more Baldur's Gate. Where did we get up to? I don't even remember. We had it was quite a big fighting session now I think about it, but slowly but surely making some actual progress in the game. Not to say that we don't usually. I mean, nothing's going to compare to the session before this session where we played for a ridiculous amount of time. I think it was like 6 hours or something almost. But that was a lot of progress. But this one we still made progress, bit by bit. It's amazing that there's still so much content. Like, we're still in Act 3 and I'm just still like, I feel like we haven't even done half of what we're meant to do at this one area. It's crazy. Anyway, hello everyone. We're now in Fawnhollow at 6:10 p.m. on Friday, December 15, 2023, halfway through December. Yeah, what else do we talk about today? Oh man. Like, we're gonna go into a different, like, conversation topic probably. But I would say that, like, has anyone else, if you play Honkai Star Rail, anyone else watch a Honkai Star Rail 1.6 preview stream or whatever? It was, today, and, very recently got finished watching it. That is crazy. They are giving out a limited 5-star character for free in the next patch. And it's even better because it was one I wanted as well, but was like, I don't have enough in-game currency to pull for it, especially because I pulled for Argenti. I was like, okay, I'm going to pull for Around Main, and now I just found out about Black Swans in the patch afterwards. I'm not very interested in Sparkle, so I'm not going to pull for Sparkle. But I was like, but I kind of wanted Dr. Ratio, but now I'm not going to be able to pull for him, and it's going to be so sad. Then, boom, it's like my life is a story, like a fairy tale or something, and it's like a blessing from above. Okay, maybe not that literal. That's a bit extreme, but I like to talk in extremities because it's kind of more funny. But it was like, whoa, in the stream, I thought it was a joke. The character came on, was like, hey, why are you lying to them? I want them to know me in my full glory. You should know that they're getting a free Dr. Ratio in the mail or something with the next patch. And I was like, okay, that's a bit mean-spirited joke. Well, not mean-spirited, but I was like, that's a joke, which I'm like, people are going to get mad at because, unless I immediately walk it back and make it clear it's a joke. And then it just kept going. And I was like, wait, is it not a joke? Is it serious? And then the, like, splash screen came up and I was like, it must be a joke. There's no way. And in which case, we're going to have so much controversy around this. And then it turns out it was real. And I'm like, what? I'm losing my mind. If you don't know, like, what on earth's going on, it's just like, and fair enough. I suppose maybe you can think of it in the sense that, oh man, there were like 3 things I wanted to buy, but I only had probably enough for maybe 2 of them. So, I was just like, oh, that's a shame. I had to skip out on this other one I wanted. And it's like, oh, you're getting that other one for free. And I'm like, what? It's crazy. Anyway, sorry. That was a bit of a side tangent there. It absolutely blew my mind. I could not believe it. It was because apparently Star Rail, not apparently, I don't know what I said, apparently I already knew it happened, but it won, like, I can't remember which award, like Best Mobile Game or something, in the Game Awards. So, it was like a thank you or something, which is crazy, because there's a huge amount of quality of life. Like, for someone who plays both Genshin and Honkai Star Rail gets so much, like, quality of life updates. It gets, like, so many, like, long, like, it's like, oh man, we wanted this, and like a few patches later, boom, it's in. And Genshin is like, we still don't have, only next patch, after it's been out for 3 years, are we starting domains from the key, rather than having to run all the way in every single time again. Crazy, huh? Anyway, oh god, I just smacked my lamp. I'm so sorry, desk lamp. I was too excited, clearly. No, what I was going to talk about is, I actually played some Rivals of Aether yesterday with Steam Remote Play, which is, it was a lot of fun, basically. I was talking about it with my friends, because I brought it up in video before, like Rivals of Aether 2, and I was considering backing it, but I was like, it seems silly to back it because I've not even played the first game. It's a game I've always wanted to get into. It's a game I was like, I love, like, it's out. I've heard so many good things about it. I just never got around to it because, fighting game barriers, all that sort of thing. I'm like, I don't have necessarily even, like, many people to play it with. Or at the time I had it. And, just, like, general malaise on playing games on my part. And then I was, like, talking about it with my friends, and they were like, I can't remember, he was like, you should just play it, man. Like, I mean, that's a very sort of me response to things as well. Sometimes when someone would just be like, here to complain about things, I'll just be like, do it. Obviously, I understand, like, the venting side of, like, complaining, quote, quote, and things like that, and I don't mean to besmirch that or belittle it. But at the same time, I am someone who tends to be kind of born out of practicality, but I guess my own hypocrisy carries itself somewhat when I'm just like, I have my own moments of, like, I know I should just, like, what's the point of not complaining about it, but I have my own sort of like deliberations about things, when really the answer, if I had someone else saying that to me, I'd just be like, just do it. It's a very simple answer, but sometimes you need that push. And for myself, I find that often comes when it comes to like recreation or like doing fun things, I suppose, for myself. I very much need someone else to push me in that regard. But when it comes to, you know, just like doing chores, I'm like, damn, I'm on it. Anyway, sorry, that's not the point. So I was like, okay, we'll play some Rivals of Aether now, and I was going to play for the tutorial, and I was like streaming it a little bit, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I completely forgot about Steam like remote play. We should like play it together. So it was like me, three of us, I suppose, were playing, and it really is quite fun. I think it's sort of playing it again sort of brought back the magic at playing Smash Bros for the first time with a bunch of friends. Was like where you're just like playing characters randomly and you'll be like, whoa, what did you just do? That was crazy. What was that? And you'll be like, oh, you just find like some really cool move and you're like, oh, check this out. Or you absolutely dominate your friends playing a character. You're like, this is my jam, like this is my character. Or when you do something so ridiculous because you didn't realize how something interacted, and it's so, but the joy of discovering a game all over for the first time is unparalleled, I think. Okay, maybe not unparalleled, it's non-pareil, which is the same thing in French, but also probably not that extreme, but in a figurative sense, non-pareil. Because it's really fun discovering things for the first time, discovering what, you know, especially for a fighting game, especially when it's like friendly competition in that sense, but it's more, well, I mean not in that sense, quite literally in that sense. And it's, you know, being able to discover all these mechanics and things that are going on, because I had like surface level knowledge of Rivals of Aether and some of what some of the characters did. Like I remembered watching some of the like trailer announcements for some characters, like Eliana was always stuck in my head, and Forsburn was another one I think I watched. And then I watched like a video talking about heavyweights and platform fighters and how the Rivals of Aether solves the issue with Crag. I can't even remember, Eternus and Sylvanas, something like that. So I had surface level knowledge about those characters, but I didn't really know much more about the other characters out of like things that like maybe from videos I've seen or etc. etc. But playing it was like, you know, even the things I did know, like it was like a sense of rediscovery or like putting them actually into practice, and it was a lot of fun to be perfectly honest, you know, doing something and being like, wow, this move is so crazy strong, or like these really funny moments. Like there was one moment where I don't even know what the maps are, you have to forgive me, but it's the one with like the two ice walls going up the side, and I was fighting with a friend on it, and it just came down to like a 1v1 between me and her, and she was playing Eternus and I was playing Rasta, and I was doing like all these like I knew the general playstyle I think on most of the characters, kind of, and like I knew Rasta was like, he was like aerial based combat and he's like super speedy, so I was like putting down the slipstream, I was like ducking, diving, dashing all over the place, getting attacks in, like slowly chipping away, and she just like lands one bite on me and I just instantly die, and I was just like, it was so cinematic, it was like straight out of a comedy film of like the villain just like dashing around doing like all these attacks and these flurries, and like One Punch Man comes in and just absolutely demolishes me. It was so good. It turns out I am, in a party mode sense, very good at playing Eliana for some reason. I went undefeated at her. I don't know necessarily why. Maybe it's just like something about her playstyle just sort of ended up clicking with me, or maybe it's the fact that she's got a much easier recovery than all the other characters or something like that. But you know, she was just like a lot of fun to play, and it's amazing like how well designed I think a lot of these character kits are. Like you can tell they're very well thought through. Like there was actually another video I watched very recently about, I think it was about platform, I don't remember what, or maybe it was a poster, I don't remember where I read it from, but the general concept was about how Smash Bros was limited in a sense. I think it might have been a video about Rivals of Aether when I was, you know, debating whether to get into Rivals of Aether or not, but Smash Bros has a problem where it's beholden to the IPs of the characters it creates. Like these the characters in Smash Bros is crossovers, but characters taken from another property and put into the game by nature. That's entirely the point of Smash Bros. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm just saying that is what it is. These are not characters invented from the ground up for the game, so therein lies a potential problem, is where these characters have to be designed with the original conception of the idea of a character in mind. You know, they have to follow similar playstyle patterns of that, or similar moves in that regard, but adapted to a fighting game, which can kind of sort of restrict creativity, and it can also be an issue when it comes to, you know, balancing. Like you can't do anything too creative. Like if you're doing a character like, I don't know, let's take Mario for example, and it's like, oh, Mario would be really, really good right now if he had like an instant blink teleport or something that would like complete his kit. You can't really put that in because that's not something that Mario can do in the base game, which is why, like, you know, Mario's kit is so basic is because Mario in himself is reasonably, well, I'm not gonna say he's reasonably basic because he's done a lot of adventurous stuff, but also I think the Smash Bros series is also kind of beholden to the previous iterations of the game as well. You know, you can't change up Mario too much, or you can't change up any character who's appeared in a previous version too much, because that's kind of like, that's how they were before, right? That's, you know, they were in the previous series, so they got to play somewhat similarly, because that's what the fans probably from fans want, you know. It's just kind of how it goes, which adds a layer of difficulty, I think, to being able to create things compared to from the ground up. Because from the ground up, there's many things that also help, is not necessarily the mechanical section, but from the like design section, you can invent a character, you know, based off the mechanics you need. You can change the character as you wish because they're not an existing character. So for example, like you're making a character and they're all like and initially you come up with the idea they're like a martial arts brawler or something like that, and you're like, yeah, they're really up in your face and that sort of thing. But then they start, you come together with a kit and it's like, oh, it works really well. They're not, but they work better at the mid-range, or they work better as a keep away sort of character, like a range character with a lot of projectiles and that sort of thing. It's like, that doesn't really translate well to a traditional sort of martial arts as character theme which is going on. If it was a character from an existing property, you'd be like, okay, we had to scrap it. You know, we have to make a different kit for this character, and maybe we'll put that kit, give that kit to a different character. But if you're making it from the ground up, you could just be like, okay, we can just like change the viewpoint of this character. This character is no longer just like a pure traditional martial artist. We're now like an elemental martial artist or something. Or maybe they're just an elementalist in general who just like took up martial arts as like a hobby or something like that. I don't know. You know, you have more control, I suppose, over freedom. Like you have certain levers locked in place, I think, when you're designing things with these crossover pieces in mind, which can be a restriction, you know, which breeds creativity, don't get me wrong, but it can also be a restriction in complete freedom for design and things like that. Whether that's good or bad, I suppose, is probably up to you. And it very much depends on the sort of aims that you want, because, I mean, while I'm saying that certainly it gives a sense of weakness to the... So not weakness, a limit to what you can do, I suppose, with these like Smash Bros character designs. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, because at the end of the day, the entire goal of Smash Bros is to be like an ultimate crossover of all these different IPs coming together to battle. The main goal is not, hey, oh, Celeste's here. The main goal is not, hey, we got to have something, you know, perfectly tailored for this exact kit. It's, we want Mario in this game, we want Link in this game, we want Solid Snake, etc., in this game. That's what we want. So with a reframed of a different, I suppose, main goal in mind, it becomes much more, forgivable gives a connotation that if it weren't for me saying that, it would be unforgivable, which is not what I meant. But it's just refreshing, I suppose, in a certain way, to play it through Rivals of Aether, and you can see the characters' designs and their motifs go very sort of hand in hand with each other. They read very well and that sort of thing. And I imagine designing them, I don't know necessarily, because, you know, I'm not part of the team who made Rivals of Aether, obviously, and I don't really have any sort of visibility behind that, the blackout curtain which hangs between the player and the creator. But I got to assume that designing it as a process was a lot more liberating in that sense. Well, I'm certainly sure you build up an idea of what you want the character to be like when you're creating them. Just like, I suppose, the ability that the things can change and morph makes it feel a lot more liberating in a sense. I guess that's what I mean. Yeah. So playing Rivals of Aether was a lot of good fun. You might be like, who's your favourite character of each element? I think Mollow's definitely my favourite fire-based character. The bomb, like, it was crazy because I played random for the entire night. I think I don't know how long we played for. It probably says it on my library, actually. If I just hover over it, it says like time, place, read. 2.6 hours. Yeah, that seems about right. Hold on. Wait, I can probably see achievements, and I can see when exactly it happened. Somehow. View my achievements. There we go. So 10:49 p.m. and we played till about... I feel like we played till about 1 a.m. So we played for about 2 hours or so. Yeah, that sounds about right. Got a few achievements. What achievements we got? Got a KO with Claren's up special. I don't think that was me. Get a KO with Eliana's forward special. That was definitely me. Watery Trap. Get a KO with Orcane's up special. I think that was also me. I feel like I remember that one. Get KO with Rano's up special. I don't think that was me. Sweaty Smackdown. Get KO with Hodan's parry down strong. I've got no clue. I don't think that was me. But yeah. Yeah. So I was playing Steam Remote Play. What was I saying? Oh yeah, played 2 hours. And there's still quite a few characters I haven't played yet. Weirdly enough. But we saw other characters because my friends were manually choosing for like the first bit, and then they started randoming. I just randomed. No, I played Maple for the first round, and then I randomed for every single other one. So I hadn't. Have I played all the 5 characters? I played Eternus, I played Forsburn, I played Mollo, and I played Crown. Okay, I have played all the 5 characters. I think Mollo is definitely my favourite, but I only played him once, and the bombs were a heck of a lot of fun to like toss around, and it feels like a character where the versatility, and if you know what you're doing, that's kind of like where the joy of it lies. What else is there? For water characters, I played as Vyorka. What's Vyorka called? Orcane. I played as Eternus. I played as Rano. I was going to say Rolo. I was like, wait a minute, that's Beacon Pines. Who's the other water-based character? Oh, and the Steam Monkey. What's he called? I don't remember. Hodan, something like that, right? Yeah. Who's my favourite water characters? I don't know. I feel like I'm not particularly partial to like any of the water-based characters. Maybe Rano slightly, but like I don't know. None of them I played and was like, wow, this is like. I feel like I can click. I click with it. I especially did not click with Orcane. I had no idea what I was doing basically every single time. But I certainly think that if you know what, as it goes with any of these characters, you have to kind of know them to actually be able to understand if you properly like them or you don't. You can have, you know, your first impressions, etc., but it's a little bit different to being able to fully understand what parts of it you do and don't like. So I don't know, but hydro characters is Genshin influence, but water characters I wasn't particularly swayed any which way. The wind air based characters, I think, well, Eliana's obviously first. I almost forgot. I didn't play Pom, like I never randomed into Pom, so I have no idea what she plays like and if I would like playing her or not. I did like Absa quite a lot, and Rasta I think it was quite a lot of fun. I just didn't know how to actually like secure a kill with him. I only knew how to dash around and be really annoying and like a pesky mosquito or something, but I'm sure if you're a lot better, that's a different story. The Earth characters, I don't think I played a lot of them. Like I didn't end up ever playing Crag. Like I never randomed into him. I played Maple like once or twice maybe. I thought she was kind of cool. Sylvanas, I thought I would like Sylvanas because he seems to have a sort of like weird playstyle, which I like, and it's got, I don't know if it's necessarily keep away, but he seemed like a really interesting character, but I wasn't really driving with him when I was playing it, I'm going to be perfectly honest. But again, that's probably because I don't really know his kit all that well. Oh, who was the other one? Oh, Olympia. Olympia was actually really fun. I didn't expect it because she doesn't seem like my sort of character, like an all-in-your-face brawler character, but she was like genuinely really, really fun. I played Ori once, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I never actually played Shovel Knight. I'm going to be perfectly honest. So there's a lot of characters, you know. I've still got 3 characters I've never yet even tried. I still think Eliana is like the clear and the runaway favourite of mine to play. I don't know. She was just a lot of fun to play, and I'm excited to play it a bit more. You know, I'm going to watch some more videos and understand the characters a little bit better, so I can at least pass on the mechanics next time, you know, we play as a group. You know, now we've done the discovery phase, now it's like, hey, this is how we can make it better phase, which could be more fun, could be less fun, kind of depends on who you are. And you might be happy to know I did back Rivals 2 after that gameplay session last night. I was like, you know what, Rivals 2, you're getting backed. So I backed the game tier. I was looking at the different tiers. If there was like, I kind of wanted something like a bit more, like not a bit more, like I don't know, like more of an incentive for me to go a little bit higher, because I was like, because there's the game tier, which was always the one I was going to get because I was like, I want the game. And then like a little bit higher was just like you get more skins or something, you get like retro skins, and I was like, I'm none too plussed about that. Now if you go a little bit higher, then it was like you get the physical copy, and I was like, I was a bit none too plussed about that. I don't know, I guess I wanted merch. I thought the hoodie was cool, but the hoodie was like so expensive. Well, okay, it wasn't actually so expensive. It was so expensive for me because I didn't play the game all that much. So I have backed it, you know. Let's hope it succeeds and I hope it does well. And I'll be excited to play it, I suppose, when it comes to pass. And probably I'll play a lot more Rivals of Aether. I'm surprised Steam Remote Play. Apparently it was pretty decent. One of my friends, she said certainly that it felt like a bit clunky, which I don't know if she thinks the game is clunky or if it's necessarily the characters themselves. But my other friend, he just said there was no issues whatsoever. I do remember, though, we tried Steam Remote Play with 4 players in a game. I can't remember what game it was. I think it was Moving Out, and it was so insanely laggy. It was crazy laggy. Like, we'd jump up from 3 to 4. Like, 3, perfectly fine. 4, just absolutely, like, you could not do anything. It was so laggy the entire time. So I'm interested to see, like, maybe if they fix that a little bit or something, because Remote Play is really, really quite nice. Are you okay, Lily? Are you just, like, running into me? Sorry, I'll move. Makes me definitely want to like design my own character to like go in the game, but of course, you know, that would be a lot of difficulty doing that in the first place. But you know, who knows? Maybe one day. I always say there's a lot of crazy characters out there in the Steam Workshop for Rivals of Aether. I mean, I was like looking at it, like one of them was like unregistered hypercam too, and I was like, what? It's very, very funny. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to title this episode. It's either going to be Rivals of Aether or it's going to be like crossover designs or something. Anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.